So ARG decklists are posted, and there is a lot to talk about. We might make a separate video on this. We'll see. So we're going to be covering what I thought was the most interesting choices coming out of the week. And if you guys did well at your respective events, of course, always Facebook me your list. I'll try to get to them. I mean, we can only cover so many deck lists in a day, especially when we're in the early stages like this. So what's going on here? So we actually had an ABC danger list top. And I didn't actually think we would ever see something like this actually come up. And it's pretty strange to me conceptually looking at how this deck works. I mean, even seeing Tiamatron get some play now in his life is pretty interesting. So what's going on here? So we're going to use the Danger Engine to kind of capitalize, make some superpower cards, getting access to things like Crusadia Astram. It's really cute, plus, you know, we can blow our opponent back out with Exciton Knight, or Exciton, however you wish to pronounce it. We're just going to call him the Cockroach. And then we have triple copies of ABC Dragon Turd. So let's kind of digging onto this. So we have triple copies of A Assault Core, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of B Buster Drake, and triple copies of C Crush Wyvern. Now, we do play the one copy of Bigfoot, so there is an interaction with this deck that's pretty cute. I don't know how many of you guys kind of ever notice this, but on your opponent's turn, you can Dragon Buster, remove something, and then you can trigger the Bigfoot to kill something else. It's not particularly good, but I mean, it's the little things in life that you can actually do with these decks that really matter. We have two copies of Ye Olde Choopy, two copies of Mothman, one copy of Ness Ness. We have one copy of Danger Thunderbird, two copies of Jackalope, two copies of Danger Tsuchinoko, two copies of Tiamatron, and in spells we have two copies of Lure Darkness. Now, you're playing such a heavy engine for the dangers that this almost actually makes sense to want to explore as an option. I actually really like this. We have one copy of Foolish Barrel, one copy of Monster Reborn, two copies of Pot of Desires, two copies of Terraforming, two copies of Twin Twisters, and triple copies of Union Hanger. Traps are kind of interesting. We have one Infinite Impermanence, one Solemn Judgment, one Solemn Strike, and one copy of Solemn Warning. Down here in the extra deck, we have one Underclock Taker, one Cleave Forward to Genius, one Proxy Dragon, one Astram, one Unicorn, one Phoenix, one Cerberus, two Decode Talker, one Borolo Dragon, one Time Thief Redoer, one Exciton Knight, and triple copies of ABC Dragon Buster. Side deck, we have two Chaos Hunter, two copies of Prankatops, triple copies of Ghost Ogre. Ah, look, it's two copies of Gnome Material. So many people talked about, oh, nobody's ever going to want to play Gnome Material. He's so worthless. I beg to disagree with you guys. We are here, and he has finally shown himself. And I think that this is a good step in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community's direction about possibly exploring this card a little bit more, because honestly, the card is really good for what it is. I understand, like, past turn one, it doesn't really do anything, and we all understand that, but let's be honest, guys. Card is still really good for making it so that you get one turn. Then we have two copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, triple evenly matched, and one copy of Imperial Order, wrapping up this deck. So yes, to answer your question, guys, ABC still very much alive. The ARG was very diverse in terms of its top cut, and that's pretty crazy, actually, just considering everything that kind of just has been showing its head this format. There's a lot of diversity in this format. Maybe it's because the format's not quite figured out yet. Maybe it's because the ARG was a smaller event. We got to see more random shit show up, but it was pretty interesting. Continuing on with top 16. This is Sky Striker, and yeah, that's Phantasmi in the main deck. So I strictly wanted to cover this because I saw this list. I was like, really, we're playing Phantasmi in the main deck. And there were there were 3 Sky Striker lists, and there's been a lot of hype kind of testing things. Even so much like Mystic Mine in the main or the side, this card's going to get banned. We already know. There was no Mystic Burn in the main, or in top 16, which was really interesting as well. Also, something else to note. Yeah, that's an amphibious swamp ship. I'm from Wales, so it's gains 2 attack for each link monster in the graveyards. And then if this card is destroyed, you can target one link 3 or lower monster in either graveyard, special summon it. And if level 3 or lower monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you get to special summon this guy. Oh no, you can banish it and destroy a card. My bad, my bad. But I get access to any of my guys again. Also interesting that only 2 Hayate down here. I don't know if I really like that, honestly. I get what they're trying to do here, but it almost kind of seems like it might have been too much or not enough. I don't know how often it comes up for 3 anymore, but I like having the option. So this is some new modern Sky Striker. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, triple copies of Phantasmi, subject to change, might not stick around. We have 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Sky Striker, right? 2 copies of MST. I was talking about this a little bit with some of my friends about just Twin Twister not being that good anymore. Like, the discard sometimes is too much. Hey, look, I've been called bad all week for this, and it's starting to show up in competitive list. We have 1 copy of Rhoda. We have triple copies of Area Zero, 1 Afterburners, 1 copy of Jammy Waves, 2 copies of Eagle Booster. This is fine. We have 1 Hornet Drones, 2 copies of Shark Cannon. Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing more of this format. Triple Widow Anchor, triple copies of Multi-Roll, 1 Hercules Base, triple Engage, 2 Terraforming, and 1 Upstart Goblin. Next deck on here, we have 1 Bomber Dragon, triple Shizuku, 2 Kaina, 1 Kagari, 2 copies of Hayate, 1 Ningrisu, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Ablaze. This card is really good right now. Like, it's insane value. We have 1 Boral Sword, and then we have 1 copy of the Ambalo Whale. Side deck, triple copies of Lancey. I think we're going to be seeing this for a little while. 2 copies of Pringatops, 2 copies of Mystic Mines, 2 copies of Twin Twister, triple copies of Sun Limit, and then triple copies of There Can Only Be One. There Can Only Be One is insane right now also. Like, this card does a lot in today's format. A lot more than I actually thought we would get the chance to see this card do, because it seemed bad for a little bit, and the more I've been maining this, and this is fantastic. So there's that. And that wraps up that list. We have one more list for you here. There was a lot of True Draco in top, and I'm actually kind of intrigued by the amount that we saw, because honestly, this deck is really good, but the amount of variance between all of the True Draco list is really good. Also, somebody was talking about not wanting to main Inspector Border this format. Somebody like called me out on Facebook or some shit about it, and like, it's almost like it's right there. Interesting to note, though, no Majesty Maiden in the main deck, though, for this list. Also, we got the 1 Mystic Mines down here, being as anti-meta as we can get. So, we have 1 copy of Dynamite, 2 copies of Ignis, triple copies of Inspector Border, triple copies of Card Demise, 2 copies of Disciples, triple Dragonic Diagram, 1 copy of Mystic Mine, 1 Desires, triple Duality, 2 copies of Pot of Extravagance, 2 Terraforming, 2 Heritage, and 1 Upstart Goblin. I think these ratios are probably the most interesting of anything I've actually seen lately. I don't know what it is here, but this is pretty interesting. We have 2 copies of Crackdown. I think a lot of people don't want to play 3 of this. And I understand 3 could be a little bit cloggy. Card's good, but it's not as amazing as we want it to be. But 2 seems to be the number that I've been seeing a lot of people going towards. We have triple copies of Metaverse, triple copies of Sun Limit, triple copies of There Can Only Be One, and triple copies of True Draco Apocalypse. Down here, in the X deck, we have 2 copies of Hayate, 1 Ningrisu, 1 Unicorn, triple copies of Ablaze, 2 copies of Ding Ding, 2 Ripple copies of Starving Venom, triple copies of Violet Chimera. The side deck here, we have triple Magical Spring, 2 Super Poly, triple copies of Evenly Matched, 2 copies of Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. It's interesting. 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Warning, and triple copies of Wiretap. You guys ever wonder what happens when you crack down and take an opponent's nightmare? I'll let you guys figure that one out for a little while, because I think a lot of people have kind of not realized the multi-purposeness that Dingirsu actually grants to you just in that matchup. It's kind of crazy, and also just gives you a bigger boss monster to have against your opponent. Like, that's really good. So guys, this is all we have for this round of ARG deck list. We'll probably take a look at some other ones later, but guys, please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think about these. Of course, ARG is coming out with their own TCG Argent Saga very soon. You guys will see more about that on this channel. I got some demo decks to open up. on here. I'm kind of looking forward to that a little bit. And, well, guys, that's all I got. All right, guys, peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.